Don't ever watch this, please. If you're watching right now, go back 10 minutes, forget everything you've heard, and don't watch.
Welcome to the Fourth Place podcast.
Welcome to the Fourth Place podcast
with
Yeah.
adults.
We are adults now.
Some of us.
Now, Dave, you were asking before you had a question about Marcus and his micropenis.
I just want to know how he's handling dealing with life with a micropenis.
I'm okay with it, actually.
Really?
Quite comfortable with it.
Doesn't affect you?
No, it doesn't affect me. So,
You're not even ashamed.
no, I'm not ashamed. I'm
Really?
very comfortable with my body and how it
And your
is.
micropenis.
Sorry,
And your micropenis.
and my micro. I'm okay with my penis. I'm fine with the size that it is.
Well, yeah. So, hello, Dave.
Dave, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I've been looking forward to this.
Yes.
Now, Dave is a fan who begged to come on and flew all the way from Ireland just to be on the show.
Yes, he did. And
It's not
So-
how I remember it going down.
No, well, that was how I remember it. But yeah.
yeah, that kind of sounds familiar to me as well, Dave.
It's not true. I've known James and Marcus for a long time. They begged me to come on the show is what happened. And I said,
Oh, okay, well, then you can leave.
I said no. And then here we are.
Well, then you can leave.
I can't. I've nowhere to go.
Too bad.
Literally in the middle of nowhere.
Why do you have
Sandwich
nowhere to
between
go?
the two of us.
Because we're in the middle of nowhere right now in Australia on a part of a road trip we're doing. And there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere else.
Well, there's
around
two
here.
pubs down the road you could go to.
Yeah, but they're probably as bad as this one.
So what are we doing in Australia? I think it's time we tell everyone that we're
Yes.
on a trip around from Melbourne to Sydney to expose the local towns to Marcus's micropenis. Kind of like a
while-
traveling circus.
Yeah, and while doing that, we're drinking a beer in every pub along the way.
You're drinking a beer in every
Yeah.
pub.
I am drinking a beer in every pub, yeah, and Marcus is joining me in some of those pubs.
Some of them. Oh, probably 50, 60%.
Over 50, yeah.
Yeah.
But more importantly, we're all sharing in the farts.
Yes.
There's a lot of flatulence.
There's a lot of flatulence going on this trip. It started with me in particular.
Yes.
I've still got the filthiest farts.
And
Yes.
if he dares to fart again into the in the car, we will be taking a shit in his bag. We've warned him several times, and
3 times I've been warned about
More than that.
farting in the car.
more than that, and it is definitely going to happen if if we experience this shit.
We have 3 full days left.
So if it happens,
So, yeah.
you'll be getting a very good video if that does happen.
Depending on what you're
And
into.
if it has happened and you've stumbled across this video to find out the origins of it, well, yes, there you go.
You know why someone's shat in my bag, quite literally.
Yeah.
Literally. And hopefully it's like a nice runny diarrhea shit, so it just goes everywhere.
Which is very possible.
Yeah.
Based on how this trip's been going so far.
Yeah.
I mean, if Dave, if you shit in my bag, it's definitely going to be diarrhea, because you've stopped off. We've lost track almost how much.
Yeah.
I mean, every
places
beer
you've-
is a stop for
Yeah.
the toilet as well.
Speaking of runny diarrhea shits, tell us about that beer you had last night.
Yes, let's
The
discuss
runny
that,
diarrhea
yeah.
beer shit.
So what was the name of the town we were in? Albury?
We were in
Albury.
Albury last night.
So we're in Albury in somewhere in Australia, who knows? And
On the border
we-
between New South Wales and
Yeah,
Victoria.
it's in somewhere in the border or some shit.
We're on Albury. We were in a town called Albury, which is in New South Wales, along the Victorian.
So
along the
I just
Murray.
fucking said that.
Well, you
Jesus.
said on the border of anyway.
Victoria, New South Wales, and then you go
It's
and
in
say,
New South Wales technically,
Oh, well,
but anyway.
sorry.
So now you know why I'm sitting in the middle. But we went to this place called, I think, Brewery House or something like that.
Something like that.
And
You probably shouldn't actually name it because of what you're going to say.
No, I think it's okay
I mean,
to
it's
name
your
it.
honest opinion.
it's an
but-
honest review. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm giving them my opinion.
Which they didn't ask for.
And if it was a better opinion, they would like it better. It's not my fault. So I'm a big fan of porter, or you might consider it similar to stout, which is Guinness. It's a little bit different porter, but that's what most people would recognize. And so I got the porter that was on tap. What came out in the glass looked like someone had diarrhea into the glass. It was a consistency that was not appealing as a drinker. It had flavor like someone was trying to avenge something and was blaming me for whatever it was, and they were getting their payback.
Sorry about that.
Hey, you're it's okay.
Okay.
But yeah, it was the worst beer we've had so far. I've had on the trip so far, and it was just bad.
Do you think you consumed actual feces?
I haven't felt well since. So it's
it's about time we tell you Marcus
is-
shit in your drink.
It's not. Wouldn't surprise me with these fuckers. So there's been some escapades with my alcohol content or glass contents. Which,
But we made it up to you by taking you to an English pub. So
Yes, we did make that up.
Yeah, they
to
took
you.
an Irishman to an English pub.
How was that English pub? You did enjoy that.
I'm not quite sure how to punish you guys yet, but I will find a way.
I'm sure you did enjoy that English pub we took to you
No.
earlier.
No, it was actually the point in the day where it was the least comfortable. Nothing to do with the actual pub itself, but I was actually really unhappy. So yeah, it was. I wasn't impressed. I thought it was whatever. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good either.
all right. Well, speaking of not being impressed, I believe Marcus, you had an issue with the Chinese gymnast,
Chinese
Sung
gymnast,
Bao.
Chinese swimmer.
No, the gymnast.
I don't know who the. So anyway,
Well, way to go along.
there is the Chinese gymnast or Chinese athlete,
Yeah,
whoever you are out there. You know
Gymnast.
who you are.
a gymnast.
Now, you've been taking performance-enhancing drugs, you rat. You absolute
Sorry.
piece of shit.
Do you think he's watching the podcast?
Yes, he will
Yes, he
definitely
tunes in
be
every
watching
week.
the pod. Tunes in every week.
All right. Hello.
We get regular fan mail, and Marcus has decided to turn on a fan, but you know.
I'm turning on a fan this time.
All right. It's fair.
So, you rat
yeah.
who decided to take drugs at your sport, and you got caught. You got caught, you filthy bastard. You got busted. And you're trying to think that everything's okay now. That you're back in normal and you're competing again. And people don't like what you've done. So when you have athletes protesting you competing and you want to complain about it and whinge to them, go fuck yourself. Quite literally.
Shouldn't you be saying this in Mandarin or something?
Yeah, I don't think
I don't think he's going to get it in English.
It doesn't matter. There's someone they can translate this
Ni hao.
shit. So, ni hao, go fuck yourself.
Do you realize you've probably alienated everybody in the audience who wasn't that athlete?
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
But I agree with you on the principle. Taking drugs and doing sport is bad.
Yeah.
No, I disagree. Let them all do drugs. Let them all be freaks. Most of these sports, they die young anyway. No one gives a shit about that. So let them destroy their
I
body
mean,
to
there
become...
is an argument that you should allow people to just juice up on whatever, and then everybody's doing it, and then we get like superhuman speeds for like these races and
But
stuff.
then
Yeah,
people
that's
say
true.
like, "Oh, what about the kids?" Because then they'll want to do it. Good. Then they'll be successful.
So wait.
Who doesn't want to watch a 14-year-old run a sub 10-second 100-meter?
Can you imagine a
Completely
14-year-old kid running 9.2 seconds for 100 meters, juiced up on?
I really,
Anabolic
honestly, I try
steroids?
not to imagine 14-year-old kids too often. It doesn't matter what they're doing.
Speaking of which,
Speaking of which,
Nah.
this is the perfect segue
Nah. We can't go down this road.
to the next
Why?
segment. Why can't we go
Because
down
you
this
guys are
road?
going to present this wrong. You're not going to say it as...
we'll give you the opportunity.
We'll give you
to
the
explain.
opportunity to present it then.
All right.
You're going to present it, Dave.
This,
David McGlone. If people
oh,
listen.
David McGlone.
sorry, you might as well put it up on the screen. as
Google.
this is along here
If
somewhere.
you Google and you go
If
to
you
news,
Google my name,
you find out about your
there's
history.
there's a search result which leads to somebody who did something very bad. It's not me. Most of the results are me, And then there's this one that isn't, which is incriminating. And then
What's the
Yeah,
one
that's the guy that does the filmmaking stuff. That's
no,
not you.
I'm the filmmaker, dude.
So
and this
what's-
other guy's he's
What happened to him?
he sexually abused someone and went to prison for it. As far as I
Way to bring the podcast down. Jeez.
Just bring the come
I
on.
was talking about the doctor in China. That
no,
named
you
Dave
were
McGowan.
not. No, you were not.
I was.
But these guys found out about it on a trip when we were traveling somewhere, and I happened to let slip that my Google search contained one entry that wasn't mine, and 5 seconds later it had been looked up, and then and that's what they continuously bring up when we talk.
Well, how do
I
you
mean, what do you expect? You
Yeah.
can't tell people that kind of information.
I've done so many good things in my life.
Yeah,
but it will
and no
always
one
be
gives a shit about
overshadowed.
it all gets erased.
It all gets overshadowed
That one
by
bad moment.
somebody
One
else.
bad thing.
By
No.
somebody else.
No, it's
You had
it's
one
your
bad
actions.
moment.
It's not
It's time to
my,
own up.
No, listen, that's not me.
You
and
did this.
I did not do
You
that.
did do
No, I
Mark,
did not.
Marcus has owned that he lost a duck eating contest.
Yeah, I've
That's a
owned
whole
it.
different thing right there. So no,
It's
you guys
exactly
can
the same.
listen. You guys are gonna be sorely. I was gonna say something, but it would lead into like.
No, come on. You might as well spit it.
Basically, you can go fuck yourselves.
Well, I mean, that would be a little bit more appropriate than
Yeah.
what you may have done.
I mean, this person is not me. I want to reiterate that it's not me. Somebody who shares the same name as me. That's all.
But you have lost actual job. No, on a serious note, you have
Yeah.
lost job opportunities as a result, which is pretty fucking insane.
I have. I mean, it's definitely that's what happened because with like I'd gone through rounds of interviews and stuff, and then all of a sudden I hear nothing back. And it's clear at that point they've done a Google search and they've come back and said,
what's really fucked about it is like the Google search actually shows pictures of the guy, and he clearly looks nothing like you.
yeah,
I mean, unless you lost a shitload of weight and changed your hair and all kinds of shit. But even then, like, it's clearly not you,
yeah, exactly.
which is pretty fucked.
Yeah, but I think the association is the name could be like a customer, a client, or whatever of the companies who are looking to hire someone could come up if they're looking for something. So what bugs me is they don't come and say, "Hey, this Google search we did came up with something. Can you explain it?"
Yeah.
They just the times that I reckon it has been that they've just come back and said, "Oh, we're not interested anymore." Which
That is fucked.
I mean, when you go through everything else and you're like, there's nothing else it can be. Like the background check is the only thing they're doing, and the actual background check is fine. And people do Google searches now as part of job interviews and stuff.
But if you pass the background check, surely that's
Yeah,
going to come
surely
up on
that
you.
would be enough.
You
Which these
would
people are
think
fucking morons.
But there's an association to it. I mean, anyone who has any sense wouldn't use that as something to not hire you or give you the job, whatever the case may be. But obviously, some people look things up, and maybe they don't even dig into it too deep. They just see the name or the headline or whatever.
That's so fucked. Like, people getting screwed over because they have the same name. I have the slightly the opposite, where my name is too common, so that like it's never going to be that anyone thinks that whatever comes up under my name is me, because there's so many various people with the same name.
Yeah.
It's a curse of having a somewhat and a sort of unique-ish name, but not unique enough that no one else has it.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered changing your name?
Yeah, is that one thing you considered doing at one point?
Because last week we read a story about someone who changed their name to Camel Toe.
Yes.
And what was even better is she got a camel tattooed on her toe and would go out to guys and say, "Do you want to look at my camel toe?"
Well, I've never considered doing that.
What would you change your name to?
Well, I know this came up over the weekend with us, and I think my chosen name is now John Batman.
John Batman.
Yeah. No, John Batman.
John Batman.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Because you're a
going to
bad man.
are you going to get that legally changed when you get home from this trip?
No, I'm not going to actually change my name, but if I did, that's what it would be.
You know what would be
Why not?
hilarious is if you did change it and then there was someone named John Batman that became like a serial killer.
I would have to do some research first, just to be sure there was nothing
just
in the
type
background.
in the
yeah.
name first to make
Do a
sure
Google
nothing
search on
bad.
it, yeah.
But
So if you're going to
Google
change your
search
name
would
out
help.
there, we've just given you some solid life advice.
Google search first.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you want to change your name to Camel Toe, Just remember,
That's
there may
taken.
ever be. Well, yeah, but you know, you're gonna share your same name with some crazy woman in England.
Less said about that, the better.
That is. Why would you go with camel toe?
Well, I don't know if you can. We're all distracted by the road because
Yeah.
We just yeah.
One thing of traveling is staying in fantastic hotels.
We are staying in luxury at the moment.
It is a royal hotel, so clearly
Yes.
royalty have stayed here. Other than us, of course.
Yes. Yeah, one of the beauties is having trucks going past you at
The other one
any
the other
time
night,
of the day
at
or
fucking
night.
the 6 a.m. just solid.
That was actually brilliant. Was it 2 nights ago?
Yeah.
2 nights
Well,
ago.
and then the other night we had the car alarm where some other dickhead left their car alarm on and
Car
it went
alarm,
off in the
yeah.
middle of the night.
I genuinely thought someone was stealing the car.
Yeah, that's
and
what
it was
we
so
thought.
close that I got up out of bed like looking to see if my car was stolen. Unfortunately, it wasn't.
I stayed in bed.
As did I.
I mean, legally, I probably shouldn't say it, but I kind of don't care if my car was stolen. I'd take the refund.
I mean, that's what insurance is for.
Yeah.
So,
Insurance is the hope that it was to accidentally get into a thing and you weren't involved in it. So you get the...
get to buy a new car.
Yeah.
I mean, this trip would be fucked because we're relying on driving by car.
Probably find a train station.
Even then,
Continue somehow going.
It'd still take us a fair while to get
yeah.
Oh, right.
How do
home.
you road trip pub to pub? Pub crawl.
I mean, you'd have to give up that element of it. You just have to get to the end
We are
point.
not giving up on.
We'll see what
We're
happens.
determined.
We're not going to give up on this trip. Let's do
Marcus
keep
has
going.
motivated us to...
I've kept motivated. Dave needed a little bit of motivation.
He hasn't done fucking shit. in
It
terms
It
of
gets
motivation.
annoying when he gets into his thinking he's a motivational speaker mode and he's like in your face and you're like, if you don't back away from me, I'm going to punch you. But you don't say that. You just say, shut up.
See, what I want him is to actually punch me, because that means I know that he's actually going to do it.
All you gotta do is ask him for a motivational theory, and then he gets stuck because he doesn't have one. So then he's.
I feel
Why do you need to have a theory on everything?
Because, like, I mean, I guess as a motivational speaker, you should really be able to list off a fuckload of theories on.
Theory
different
doesn't
elements.
always work.
Well, then how the fuck?
I prefer practical scenarios.
You don't have any fucking tasks or either, so.
I prefer to take my life experience,
Which you have none.
which I have plenty of. Thank you very much. I prefer to use my life experience.
Oh, well, I
to
mean,
give
as a
people
multi-millionaire-
motivational advice.
As a multi-millionaire, successful, several
Exactly.
billion businesses under your belt.
Exactly. I've got several businesses and I've got plenty of other interests that I do that give me wonderful
Sure.
experience.
That's why you had to wait
I
for
advise
payday
to-
this week to.
Sorry?
That's why I had to wait to payday this week.
I had to wait a couple of days. That's not the end of the world.
Borrow
Before
money
some
to
money.
sustain
How much did
yourself.
I borrow off you?
$100.
I borrowed $100 off you.
So that means you were negative $100 in the bank.
Well, that's not the end of the world. Being
No, but
negative
it's
$100
far from.
when there are some people who are negative hundreds of millions of dollars, and
Yeah, but they also control several businesses and whatever other assets that you don't.
okay, they control stuff, but they're still broke. So
I mean, it's not really.
you're
broke.
having fun over there with the cupboard,
Yeah,
with the sink cupboard.
I am. Stop trying to change the subject.
Oh, I don't
you
need
not
to.
being
It's
successful.
just actually entertaining when you're playing with something under some water there.
How is that entertaining?
I don't know. It's just funny that you're playing with some pipes down
How
there.
is that funny? Like, what the fuck is funny about me opening a door?
Well, it looks like you're very bored over there.
Oh, maybe we should go. We should go do stand up, and I'll just open a door on stage, and the audience will laugh.
I reckon some audience members will laugh.
Well, then put it to the test. Go do it. Let's organize this.
Well, when do
The
we want-
Marcus the Motivated door opening show. 55 minutes of Marcus opening a door.
By the way, welcome to the PMS episode.
It's
We're
the door opening episode.
It's the door. Can you try opening the drawers?
Fuck, that's
That is actually quite amusing, to be honest. I find that
not.
quite hilarious.
It's not at all.
Anyway,
How is opening a drawer hilarious?
it's not actually, let's be honest.
It would be funny if something was in it that we didn't expect to see.
Yeah.
But they're all empty, except for the last one, which has a snake in it.
No, it doesn't.
No. Because that would have been funny.
One thing I always think about when staying in a hotel or an apartment is like pranks that people have left behind. And one thing I'm really paranoid about is those so in some hotels they give you like small bottles of shampoo and stuff, which obviously is fine. But some of them they just have like a stored version on the walls. And I've heard of people either pissing or coming inside of those things. And so I'm always paranoid about it.
When you say you've heard about, do you mean you have actively taken part in such activities?
Have you done
No,
such
I
a
haven't
thing?
done that, of course not.
All right. Because
I mean,
It kind of sounds like you have.
I haven't done that. But yeah, not personally, but I've heard of people that have.
that's why, like, no matter where I'm staying, I always bring my own stuff.
Well, you're
for-
using their blankets and towels and pillows.
But that's
and shit.
not shampoo and shower gel or whatever. I'm not going to use the one that has the cum on it or in it mixed
Yeah,
in.
but how many people have cummed in these sheets?
Everybody.
Yeah. So you're basically just
Oh, yeah.
sleeping in a
Yeah,
whole
but at
bunch
least
of
I will
people's
still have my
cum.
clothes on. Or some element of my clothes on. Hopefully. I feel like I go to sleep in the car, but I don't know how many people have come in that. either.
Yeah, exactly. Like, firstly, if
A
it's a
few
brand new
people
car,
have probably come in that car,
Yeah.
let's be
if
honest.
it's a brand new car, or then if it's used, how many times did the previous owner? Like, basically anything you buy used, you got to question how many times did the previous owner come on it.
There's so many things that you can be like, fuck. And then you think that's outlandish, but people
It's
are
not.
weird.
I mean,
It seems pretty normal, actually, to be honest.
let's take something mundane like a camera.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know if the previous owner was shooting porn.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you extrapolate that out to the microphone you're holding.
Yeah.
You don't know if the previous or even the current owner, myself, may have jizzed all over that.
Fairly confident you did at some point.
Or, you know, they might have got drunk and thought it was a dildo and accidentally inserted it inside themselves. Marcus, don't be a fucking idiot.
Fairly confident that's what
Learn to
happened.
respect microphones.
I'm just demonstrating for everyone out there what potentially may have happened
Well,
with
I'm sure they
microphones.
got like what sticking a microphone up their arse would be. They don't need you
Yeah.
to show.
Hold on, should I?
No, just fucking stop. Jesus. Respect the microphone.
Almost broke the pillow then.
How do you break a pillow?
Almost ripped it in half.
I feel like this is going to be a long evening.
Yeah, well, it's good to
What
know.
time
that-
does the sun come up around here?
Like 6 a.m. or some shit?
Ah, shit.
Too early.
Well, that's about 9 hours away, I think.
Yeah.
I did stay in this one hotel where clearly it was a very cheap hotel, firstly, and it had a computer in the room, which is weird enough on its own, right? And obviously, the first thing you do is you go on the computer and see what's there. Desktop, a whole bunch of porn. My pictures, a whole bunch of porn. Videos, all the same. But then you look at the blinds on the window, and there's clearly cum shots all over the fucking blinds that they haven't bothered to clean out.
Where the fuck was this hotel?
Yeah, where was this
In
hotel?
Sydney.
Sydney.
Yeah,
Is that where we're staying when we get to Sydney?
yeah, it is. I'm a frequent guest.
I mean, do you know what freaks me out though is more Airbnb. If you stay in an Airbnb, I'm always looking, number one, for hidden cameras, and number two, I'm like, you know, they're not held to standards, whereas hotels are supposed to be. So you don't know how clean that place actually is, or what's, you know.
Well,
as
that's
you
gonna be
say.
freaky, like having your Airbnb, like if you Airbnb your house, which you live in.
Yeah.
And say you let people, like the traditional sense of what Airbnb is supposed to be, it's just like letting people in your house. So maybe you went away for the week and you let someone Airbnb it and they're sleeping in your bed.
Yeah.
Just jizzing and farting and
Whether-
possibly even taking a shit all over your bed.
But whether they even want to or intentionally do anything like that, there's going to be their body fluids
Everywhere.
leaking into your mattress anyway. So that's not cool.
No, it's really
Like
not.
it's one of those things that I would just be freaked out by.
What's the worst place you've ever stayed in, Dave?
Ask me tomorrow.
We may have a new contender.
I think you were there. I think it was the house we stayed in the Philippines.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember that place. That was...
What?
Do you remember
It was the one that we all walked in and said, like, is there any way we can get to another place?
Sagada, I think?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were there.
Oh, yeah.
We were all like,
That wasn't too bad.
it
In
wasn't
the
too
scheme of
good
things.
either.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
we survived. It was fine, but it wasn't comfortable.
There were bugs everywhere all over
Yeah,
the house.
get
little
over
lizards
yourself.
running around.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly...
Yeah, but if you stay in remote places, you have to have that basically.
Yeah, true, but...
So what? Okay, well, moving on. What's the worst place you ever come?
I can't even. I don't know. What do you think?
Worst or what was it? Worst or best?
Best
Yeah, worst.
or worst?
Oh, worst place. Oh. I reckon...
It should have gone back a long time.
Yeah, I'm going back a fair while,
Yeah,
actually.
let's just pretend it was a long time ago. So yeah,
No, this was a
last
long
week.
time
You're having
ago.
a wank and you hit yourself in the eye.
No.
That's why you wear glasses.
It's got nothing to do with why I wear glasses.
No. Well, that's something that potentially could happen to you. Just have it dripping down. Have you ever had any caught in your facial hair?
I mean, where do you think I'm pointing my dick when I'm coming? Like, it's not going
No,
to be all
we're
over my
talking about the
face.
other guy's dick.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
you know, always make sure that that's pointed in the other direction.
What if you want to taste?
Yeah.
Little taste test. Little taste test. Never heard of anyone.
I mean, it's fine.
There's got to be.
Do you get
There's
any,
got to be
like-
a fetish of that, like
Yeah.
There probably is, yeah.
guys that like guys to come in their beard and just leave it in the beard as moisturizer.
I fear
Is
things
it
being
like-
in my beard.
Is it
so.
on your skin when
Well,
you
let's
have it
find
on
out.
your-
Well, every guy in the world has told a girl at some point it's good for her skin, so that must be true. 'Cause
That's legally binding.
Yeah, if every guy is saying it.
Yeah.
That's true. Now, are there any other experiences you can talk to us about, Dave? In terms of,
I can talk to you about a lot of experiences, but tell me what you want.
well, in terms of having someone come on your face.
Nobody has ever come on my face, but
Not
You
even
know.
yourself.
not in recent
I
memories.
guess. I guess there's a long distance
Well-
from a micro penis to the face.
I mean, you know, I've had 37 years now, and of that, of my years where I've been able to ejaculate, I've never managed to get it near my face, not once. So I don't know how you guys
That's it.
jerk off.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Surely you would have got some caught in that facial hair of yours.
I
at
haven't
some
always had
point.
this facial hair. This is about 6 months worth.
Surely you've laid down in the shower and tipped yourself upside down and
Yeah.
deliberately aimed for your mouth when you.
No,
No? Oh, okay.
I've never laid down in the shower. I don't know how you would do that.
Well,
I'm
it's not
surprised you
laying
haven't
down,
felt. I'm surprised you haven't tried that.
Yeah.
No,
You haven't tried to suck your own dick.
no.
Why
What?
not?
Why not? Because then I'd be sucking dick. It doesn't matter.
But
that
that's
it's
what you
mine.
like.
So
but that's
it's
what
your
you-
own dick.
It's
No,
your own
that's-
dick.
I don't want to even
It's
suck
like
my
the
dick.
same. What? You don't touch it.
I don't want to suck it. I said.
Oh, you don't. Yeah, but it's the same as touching it.
No, it's different. I
You
don't
think
wanna-
it's different if you masturbate
So
yourself
you
versus
suck your dick all
own-
the time?
Well, I can't reach. I got a micro penis, so it's hard to reach the
So,
0.5 inches
all right.
erect.
How about you?
Well, as someone else alluded to earlier, I've got a micro penis as well, so I'm
Okay.
never a chance of actually getting anywhere near mine.
Fair enough. Well, I'm still not interested in sucking anybody's dick, even my own. So,
Welcome to Micro Penises in the Morning.
when it's clearly the evening.
Yes.
So, this is our new morning radio talk show. You're listening to 93.4, The Y. Micro Penises in the Morning, starring 1,
Can I just
1.5, and 0.5.
We can whip them out and start measuring, guys.
Okay,
Hang on.
let's go.
Yeah. You first.
I'm losing, so I'm not even going to bother trying to do it. So,
We can whip them out and point them out the window.
Nobody would see.
There's no one out there.
because there is actually nobody.
We're literally the only people in this town, except for the fuckers driving past the window every 2
Yeah,
minutes.
there actually
And the
is
poor
no-
family in the room next to us that have to hear this discussion.
Yeah.
There's
Family.
nobody here at the moment.
Imagine you were here with your kids and then you get stuck with this next to you.
Imagine how fucked up the kids would be if this is where they got brought on their family holiday.
As I said, I feel sorry for the kids because
Yeah.
they're just. What are they doing here in the first place?
If this was your holiday destination, and there's fuck all here. We're only here because there's 3 pubs.
Yeah,
It's the only reason we're here.
there's nothing else.
No.
There literally is actually nothing else.
So yeah, again, Marcus, do you want to show Dave your Victoria's Secret panties?
Let me see what panties I've got on today.
They are available from the
God.
store and
They're not
on our
Victoria's
website.
Secret today, so unfortunately
shit.
I don't have them on. So.
But you're a big fan of wearing those Victoria's Secret panties.
We all saw the video last week.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you legitimately don't think you would wear and sell Victoria's Secret panties for $10,000?
No, I wouldn't.
If someone offered you $10,000 for one day to wear them
I would
and then
not.
sell them, you wouldn't.
I would not.
You're a fucking moron.
I would not wear them.
Why?
Dave, would you?
I would.
Yeah. I
And the
wouldn't even
reason I would
consider
be
it.
is $10,000
For
That's
one
why.
day to wear fucking a pair of panties.
But as
and
well,
sell
they
them.
have different styles. You can get them which are essentially like men's anyway.
I wouldn't give a shit if they forced me to wear
But if
like
you
a
were
fucking
that-
G-string.
if you were that worried
for 10
about it.
grand.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't give a shit either, yeah. You find 10 grand is 10 grand for one
So-
day.
Yeah. So why
Fuck
would you
that.
not do that?
I just don't want to.
But for 10 grand.
Yeah, don't care about the money. I just don't want to.
But you need the money. As we already discussed, you were in the negatives until this afternoon when you got paid.
My dignity's already gone anyway, so I
So
don't
then
need to
why
go
the
any
fuck
further.
do you care about wearing the Victoria's Secret panties?
Don't want to. I'd
What
like
if
to be comfortable.
What if you would never have to tell anybody? You would just secretly get paid the 10 grand and no one would ever know.
And I was the only person that knew?
You and the person who bought them, who gave you the money, yeah.
I'd still don't think I'd do it.
Why? This is just fucking insane.
So
I think even Bill Gates would do it for 10
I
grand.
think for 10 grand, it's
yeah.
a good business decision.
Yeah.
So for 10 grand, what would you do for 10 grand in that arena? Because I think that's actually fairly tame.
Yeah.
It's wearing a pair of knickers. Who cares?
Yeah, it's nothing. You know,
It's
gonna-
under your
much.
clothes.
It's
not
under your
like it's-
clothes. No
yeah.
one's going to know.
It might be a little bit uncomfortable.
Everyone would
They're,
fucking
they're
see,
going to be quite
honest.
comfortable.
It'd be a little.
I would
It could be a
assume.
little bit uncomfortable, but even then,
Get a bigger size, you'd be fine.
You're right. My arse is quite big, to be honest.
It's 10
Again.
grand. You could put up with a little bit of discomfort even for a day if you wanted. And it's not like 24 hours, it's just your waking day. Do it on a day off when you're just sitting around at home.
Maybe I might think about it.
you're a fucking moron. So what would you
That's
do?
already established.
As Dave said, what would you do for 10 grand in that arena?
I don't know what I'd do. For
Well, let's say the same thing. What about 15 grand?
maybe $1 million.
No,
million. You're
that's
a
unrealistic.
fucking million.
What about 20? All right, we'll go to 25,000, but you have to have an active day. Like you work out in them and everything.
And you got to
25
send
grand.
photo verification to the purchaser.
I tell you what, just to make it easier for you, you don't have to send a photo, but you do have to, like, you know, work out in them, which obviously means you have to be out in public a lot more. You have to kind of maybe.
No one's going to see still.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
100
Wear baggy
grand.
clothes. 100 grand. You're a fucking.
100 grand.
Would you taste your own cum for 10K?
No.
Dave?
10.
You've already done that, haven't you?
Not for 10K.
Do it for free on Saturday.
You've done that. You've already tried and
No.
tasted.
For 10 grand. I think
Anyone who
there's-
says they haven't tried is a liar.
Yeah,
I
know,
think
'cause
anyone
even I have.
who says
He
they
just
wouldn't.
admitted he's tried it.
I have. Yeah, as a
He's a big fat vouching. Let's be honest.
But I think anybody who's offered 10 grand to do something.
Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know what that is, Marcus?
What is what?
Felching.
I actually don't know what felching is.
It's what you do every week. It's when you come in the girl and then lick it out.
Yeah, no, I have not done that.
It's worse when someone else comes in there and then you lick it. You're swingers. I've heard that's the thing.
That's called a birthday present.
I'm just thinking who I should tell not to watch this podcast. Everybody.
Well,
Don't ever watch this, please. If you're watching right now, go back 10 minutes, forget everything you've heard, and don't watch.
Let's be honest. At this point, even your beautiful girlfriend is going to watch this podcast.
Oh, she's not going to notice.
Yeah.
But
That's why this thing's getting filmed.
See, this is what you do. You bring up the topic in the term of what would you do for this, how much, right? And then you send her the video and say, see, Marcus is an idiot. He would do this for this. Can we try it?
Let's just take it back a step here. Right?
No,
because I wanted to ask you a
So
question.
your
I wanted
lovely
to,
girlfriend
wait,
Michelle is going to see
So
this.
will she give you a birthday present? Is what
Yes.
Wait, see, not what you called a birthday present. That ain't happening.
That's not far enough here, I guess.
That's
It's not.
listen. My sex life is not on the table for discussion. All right.
What kind of any particular ways you want that birthday present to be
In
delivered?
front of the family.
Yeah. How would that go down if it was delivered in front of her family and friends?
Again, this is not something I'm going to talk about with you guys.
Hypothetically,
Oh,
someone...
hypothetically.
Hypothetically,
We're in the middle of discussing at the moment.
hypothetically, I'm not going to discuss it with you guys either. So, what I think we should go back and talk about is for $10,000, what would you do? Or what would you not do? Because I think most people offered $10,000 would do most things, realistically thinking about it.
I don't know. I feel like there's a few lines of
There's a
different
few
people to
lines.
have sex with. Obviously, people are
Things
going to
like
say no.
wearing some knickers. Who cares? You're gonna
Yeah,
do that.
incidental stuff.
Yeah, you're going to do stuff like that. You might question other things like what you're talking about. You might think about it, but again, most people would draw the line and be, look, it's 10 grand. I could probably do it. Marcus obviously be just guzzling whatever comes his way.
Would you lick a hobo's foot for 10K?
It's a hard one.
I wouldn't know.
In a sexy way, though.
Does he wash it first?
Well, let's say it's a woman. It's a semi-attractive homeless woman, but they're homeless, so it's very dirty and it hasn't been washed in weeks.
I don't think I'd lick anyone's foot who hadn't washed it in weeks.
For 10K.
There's too many hygienic issues there with your feet.
Okay, what if it's a really attractive but homeless woman?
Doesn't make a difference. It's still a hygiene
How does it
issue.
not make a difference? There's a massive difference between...
If someone's homeless or not homeless and they still don't wash themselves, it doesn't make a difference. They're still a dirty bastard.
It does matter if they're attractive or not.
Well, what I meant was homeless or not homeless, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. So if they're attractive or unattractive, it doesn't actually matter either.
No, the attractive part definitely matters.
Not if you're just licking a foot. Who cares? Someone's attractive.
Yeah, so if you're looking to lick a foot...
You want to lick a sexy foot. That's what you want to do, don't you? So come on, now, what's a sexy foot? What's a sexy foot?
I don't
look
know what a
like?
sexy foot is. I mean,
What's the line of foot you would lick
Yeah,
for
what's
10K?
the type of foot? So what's like the taste, the texture,
I regret
the
accepting
look
this
of it?
podcast invite right now. I don't have an idea of a sexy foot. That's your job.
What kind of sauce would go down well with a
Do you
nice
think,
homeless
can we
foot?
put some condiments? Can we put some condiments that might help you?
A little bit of pepper,
yeah.
salt.
Maybe
Curry.
some gravy or some pepper sauce with it.
You guys are weird. No, there's no condiments you can put on a foot to make it any better. But I mean, I don't know. What are you guys into?
Okay, what would you eat a meat pie off a homeless woman's foot? For 10 grand.
Yeah.
You would?
For 10 grand, yeah.
Okay. Would you eat a meat pie of a homeless woman's foot that you've jizzed on?
No. That's unhygienic.
Now, one of the
Why'd you go into like some serious question? So I hear that you're a success in this world.
No.
no,
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to bring up something, but I don't know whether it's actually worth bringing up because it's slightly interesting, and we're all in the same situation. Now, we're all in the situation that we're all actually in a relationship with someone from overseas.
So
Correct?
what he's going to say is, would you cheat on her if she didn't know?
No.
No.
Would you on camera admit that you would cheat on them? No. Well, what are you going to fucking ask?
Well, I was just going to ask, what's that like for each of us differently? I'm sure we've got our own challenges
That's
with that.
very, very
I mean,
fast.
this could be a long conversation.
Oh, I know we've got a lot of time to kill. Let's be honest.
is
We
a
are. Just
vastly
remember
different
where
topic.
we are.
That's true. Nothing else to do.
We actually have a shitload of time.
Nobody
to
brought
kill.
the PlayStation.
No.
Fuck's sake.
Okay, so just to clarify, we're talking about Dave jizzing on on a pie and then eating it off a homeless woman's foot, and that made you
subject
think
was covered.
and that makes you think of dating someone overseas. So did that somehow happen, or something in that realm happen, Marcus, with you? And that's why you bring it up.
No, it didn't. To be honest.
Well, then why would you bring it up?
It just
that?
came to my brain. It came to my brain
I don't think that's
when-
the only thing that came on your brain.
when he
You're
was
sitting kind of funny there, Marcus.
when he was. I know. I was aware how that came. When he was talking about cheating on
What if
his overseas.
What? He wasn't
Girlfriend.
talking about cheating
Excuse
on her.
me. Whoa. I did not talk about that because that has not happened and would not happen. All right. Thank
He
you.
wasn't even saying anything about that. Like
No.
you were talking
Well,
about
you were talking about
Jizzing
licking
on
some-
pies.
jizzing on some homeless person.
Do you
And then
pay
licking
attention
their
to this podcast? Because that's not what he said.
You did. You were saying
You
2 weeks
did.
ago you jizzed on a homeless
Yeah.
person who had the time. That's what I remember. That might have been
We were
before we
just
started
discussing that
recording.
before, yeah.
That might have been before we hit record, but you know, close
You
enough.
guys deserve everything that happens in here tonight. I'm just saying.
I'm looking forward to cuddling with you in bed tonight.
We only have 2 beds, so
Yeah, we only have 2 beds here for the record.
Professionals.
Yes, in the town that has absolutely nothing in it.
Wait a
Dave
minute.
is actually speechless at the moment. He's usually always got something to say in these situations.
Well, you massively derailed the conversation. I feel
I think
by
when you-
changing the topic.
The conversation you brought up, I wouldn't say a lot about it, but I mean, I don't know if we can rectify or
We can go
pull back
to
this
it.
situation now.
It's
I
whether
don't
it's
know.
what. It's whether we should or not.
All right. Well, how much to have sex with a homeless person? We'll ease our way back there because we've jizzed on homeless people's pie feet. So, Dave, how much to have sex with a homeless person?
It's not even on the menu, so it's not.
Say you're single.
There is no price.
As if.
There's no price.
What if it's an attractive homeless woman?
How many attractive homeless
What
people do you
about a-
know?
34.
You do not.
What
you
about
liar.
a ladyboy from the Philippines?
Nah. $10.
That's what he paid last time.
No.
Top or bottom?
I didn't have any money when I was there last time. Otherwise,
Top or bottom? Come on. Versatile, I guess.
no. The answer to that is no.
I think he's a power bottom. Ladyboy
Do you
power
like
bottom.
being controlled? Do you?
No.
All right, speaking of which, let's go and ask about his relationship.
Oh, okay. We'll get into this.
Great segue. Anyway, speaking of which, this brings up the next topic of there was a story where a man in Florida walked in on his wife cheating on him.
Yes. Keep going.
So he proceeded to cut the other man's penis off with scissors.
Fair enough.
Took him home with him.
Took the penis home?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Why didn't he go straight to the hospital?
what are you talking? He cut the other man's penis off, you fucking moron.
And he took the penis home.
Yeah.
Wow. Why would you
measure
want
it?
to hold a fucking cock in your hand? That's my question.
Well, if you had a penis, someone else's penis for a day, where would you take it?
But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I would shove the guy's penis straight up his fucking ass.
Well, that's not going to work.
Oddly sexual.
Yeah, but also that wouldn't work. And
But here's the thing.
Well, hang on.
He didn't just walk up to the guy and be like, "Hey, you're sleeping with my wife. I'm just going to chop your penis off." There was some serious
There must have been a
effort put in
serious
there.
effort and fight going on for that
I
to
don't know.
happen.
Maybe he had sharp scissors, but
You think you're not going to fight off someone trying to cut your cock
do you
off?
understand how hard it would be to insert a cut off penis into someone's ass?
It would probably be
I mean,
extremely
from personal
difficult.
experience, it's very hard because it loses the erection and you'd be blood going everywhere, and plus their asshole wouldn't be lubricated.
You're talking about this like you've experienced it before.
I mean, I did say personal experience, but you know,
Can you tell us about that personal experience and what it was like?
I don't want to know.
I don't know. No comment.
No comment.
Legally, I
But the
can't
the
discuss what
question,
happened
I
on the
think-
24th of.
But weren't you asking like what you would do if you cut someone else's dick off for
Yeah,
the
where
day?
would you take it?
To the zoo?
To the zoo?
Feed it to the gorillas or something?
How about you give it to a monkey?
That's what I mean, gorillas.
I think you got to treat it nice and take it somewhere nice and special. Romance it a little bit.
I mean, at the end of the day, the person's not going to feel anything through it. It's not going to be bad for them. It's not going to be good for them. It's already cut off. That's probably bad enough. I think I would focus more on hurting that person even more.
Look, I know what the perfect thing to do is if you cut off someone's penis. You put it in your lounge room and mount it like one of those goose heads or or fish that's being caught and
But do
have
you-
it sitting over your lounge room. And then just think about it. No one's ever going to cheat on you again.
But do you want to see that dick for the rest of your life?
Yes, because much like the poor little deer that you killed,
I didn't kill any deer.
you did.
was an
You
accident.
annually you go and kill deers and you have them all stocked up in your house. We all know this. But anyway, why would you not want to have a taxidermied penis on your thing to let
Do you think
people
you'd
know?
have trouble? Do you think you'd have
Someone to
trouble
fuck.
finding a taxidermist to mount your penis?
Probably that'd be a fun conversation.
That'd be interesting because
I cut my mate's penis off because he cheated with my wife. So, can you taxidermy it?
would
for
you
me?
want it to be like flaccid or erect when you taxidermed it?
I think erect. You want to seem like you've conquered something. Flaccid would be a little bit too small and
Disturbing.
yeah. Although imagine he has a massive penis.
Don't want to. Don't want to imagine that.
Imagine you do that and as you chop it off, you're like, well, I understand why she cheated.
The thing is, maybe the person who was sleeping with his wife didn't know she was married. So it's maybe not his fault.
Yeah.
But maybe it is.
And if
That's
it
one
is,
thing I
that's
always
fine,
see
yeah.
that there's like a lot of videos online of like,
Incest porn.
well, I mean, you've been looking at my internet history. Last week we did cover how Marcus had to come clean to his family about the incest porn. He
I
was
don't, but
inspired.
anyway.
Yeah.
I watched that while I was eating my lunch. It was the most disturbing fucking video.
I didn't,
before
but anyway, just
before
for
we
the
get to
record.
incest porn, what I was trying to bring up is that there are a lot of women videos online of women who beat the shit and like they like really publicly embarrass these girls who cheated on their husband or their husband cheated with. But again, like you're saying, what proof is there that they know?
I reckon, I don't think anybody really wants to be the person who cheated on somebody whose wife or husband cheated on them with.
I mean, there are
think-
some people who do it and don't care, but I think there is a lot of times where they don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the majority. I think
Yeah.
a huge majority don't know, and then when they find out, they feel bad about it. But at that point, what are they going to do?
Well, they're going to get their dick chopped off because
Yeah, exactly.
you have
Well,
some
I
psycho.
mean, fight back, dude. Don't get your dick chopped off. That'd be
try,
that'd be a
dude.
bad outcome for you.
But what if you want that?
That's weird.
What if you like jackpot? This is what I've always wanted.
I guess there's people who do though. There's people who are into that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So not only do you get to have sex with a married man's wife, but also you get to have a free castration. That's just going to be expensive.
I mean, probably. I don't know.
Getting it medically done probably could be expensive.
Yeah. So what was the quote you got? No, seriously, what was it?
$10.
Well, considering I have a micro penis,
It's only $8. 20% discount.
It's the I feel sorry for you package. This thing's useless anyway, so.
yeah, I walked out of the medical professionals' surgical room and they said, "No,
No
we
points."
don't actually need no point." Yeah, there was no
You have
point.
to have one to chop it off, they said.
No, I walked in. They said, "No, there's no point doing this."
Understandable.
So
back to incest
They
porn.
said the same thing when I went for a boob job. But it's like, you got your own. It's fine. Stop it. Those nipples are sensitive.
They do breast reduction surgery, so you know.
I can get one of those in a couple of years, yeah.
Yeah, once you're old enough.
Yeah, hit 40 first.
40.
For that old incest porn of Marcus's, he needs a little bit of.
No.
Well, I mean, you were telling us earlier you wanted us to bring it up for you, so we brought it up now. So
I didn't, but anyway.
address what you wanted to tell everyone.
No, I got nothing else to say at the moment.
But you wanted to talk about it.
Talk about what again, sorry?
Incest.
No, I really don't. I really don't.
It's a private family matter.
There is nothing to discuss about when it comes to that, to be honest.
That's true. He doesn't like the porn. He wants the real thing. Okay, well then, weirdest porn you've ever seen. Go. I'll start. So I've seen Japanese porn where they put like weird jellyfish things up their pussy. But there's some where they put like jellyfish, but there's some where they put these like squiggling ones that are like small, I don't know what you call them, like little eels, and they then shoot them back out.
Wow.
So that's what I was watching last night.
Fucking knew I could hear you watching something weird.
I wondered what we were hearing last night from his phone, to be honest.
I think one of the weirdest things I've ever seen is like what people do, like make Family Guy and Simpsons like parody porn. I think that's ridiculous. It's just so weird, like
That's,
watching
like,
Marge
funny.
Simpson get gangbanged.
That's just funny.
To me, I'm like, I've genuinely never had thought any time up to it, seeing that video like of the Simpsons
No, you can't get
being
enough
a
of
sexual
it.
thing.
Now you
Is that
just
another
jack off
fetish of yours
to...
now?
It is now, yeah,
Okay.
obviously.
That's what he jacks off to every week is the Simpsons.
Edna Krabappel and Principal Skinner going at it.
And one of them
Groundskeeper Willie comes in.
Oh, he comes in.
Oh, he does.
Yeah. The weirdest I've seen
This
was
is going to be something
A guy and a
mundane.
girl having mundane sex.
It's a little bit better than that, but it's not much. It's not to the level of.
It was two people that were unrelated to each other having regular sex.
That's getting weird in porn nowadays. It's nearly all porn is some form of incest.
Yeah. So tell us.
No, it was a woman shooting. You know when you're playing a game of billiards on a snooker table. You know the balls that you use to play that game.
Yes.
A woman was popping them out of her pussy. I thought that was quite interesting. Now it seems quite mundane compared to the rest of what you guys have spoken
I didn't know
about.
I sent you my homemade video.
And how quickly did you finish yourself off? When you were watching?
He'd already finished. That was the, like after stroking. He needs to warm himself down afterwards. Did a little bit of warm up and then
Just everywhere, yeah. Oh, God. I don't even know.
he hit his beard. That was when he had the beard. Just left a little bit
There's
in
an awful
there.
lot of beard fetishes going on around here.
Wow. Why do you think I grew one?
I don't know.
so I can look at myself in the mirror and jack off.
Okay. Not the answer I expected.
Can I cuddle up with you in bed tonight instead? Oh, sorry. In fact,
No.
Did you just ask, can I come like with you in bed?
The answer is no.
I said, can I cuddle up with you in bed tonight? I said, can we take that bed considering the mirror's right there in the room? Yeah. And he wants,
said the
James wants to do
Don't
God
worry,
knows what with
I'll
himself
shoot it
too.
over my shoulder and hit both of you.
I'm scared.
As you should be. Well, another fun porn category. What I find funny is that we can hear the traffic lights for crossing, which means that they can probably hear what we're saying, and
Yeah.
they're hearing these people talk
Yes.
about some fun topics. Another fun porn category is which seems impossible to actually pull off in real life, but is tricking porn, where they trick. So a girl seduces a guy, tie him up in a van. She keeps sucking him, etc. He's blindfolded. And then somehow they switch the girl out for a guy, and the guy doesn't notice. So Marcus, how did they do that?
Did you really not notice?
As a substitute guy that comes in to do the...
I would not know because I've never heard of this before.
Sure. Yes. If you had to pretend you've never seen it, but you were trying to recreate this, how would you do it? Let's say last year when you were overseas. How did you do it? Hypothetically.
I don't know.
I never believe any of that stuff that's faked though in porn. I think it's always a setup of some
What do you
kind.
mean?
Like,
It's all real.
I think it's the same real that
Porn is all real to me, damn it.
I think it's the same way real as wrestling is real. Like
It
the
is.
actual stuff's actually happening, but they've set up what's going to happen beforehand.
No, it's all real.
There's people really having sex, and that was real thing.
Vince McMahon was blown up in a car when it exploded.
Yeah.
And that's true.
Yeah, and then he was fined the next week, not a bruise on him.
Well, that's because someone died, but he was real.
He was real.
God.
May he rest in peace. Glad to see you doing it, brother.
Yeah, I don't believe in any of that stuff, but whatever. It's just like the sign of the cross makes people feel happy.
We should have done a church tour, like a church crawl.
Yeah.
That's what people should do. Do you know how much money you would make if you, instead of having a pub crawl, you create a church crawl? And like you just drive from church to visit and pray in each church. Think of how much money you would actually make on that.
But what would you do with $9.95?
Yeah.
Because that's about how much you would make.
Yeah.
You'd make a lot of money. People would pay for that.
No.
No.
As if you wanted to see every church on the way from Melbourne to Sydney.
Nope.
No.
Well, that's no fun.
I'm going to my church, which is the pub. So I'm seeing all of the pubs. That's fine.
Devout.
Yeah, I'd rather be at the pub than the church, just
Yeah.
quietly.
Well, speaking of shams and insanity and incest porn, you've discovered your favorite radio artists.
Me?
Yeah.
It's those idiots on the radio this afternoon.
No, Hamish and Andy.
Ah. I just don't get, number one, how fake they are on the radio, and how, number two, how that's successful.
What we should do is do a prank call right now and call someone and have them somehow have perfect audio through the phone
Yeah.
and know what to say and not even stuff around a little bit.
And that's the thing, I mean, for people who are watching, you may not realize, but in order to get perfect audio, really crisp, clear sounding audio, you have to have a proper microphone, not a phone.
Yeah.
Phone's never going to give you great audio.
Exactly.
So when someone calls into a radio show, calls in, and they have great audio, they're not calling in, they're in the next studio next door.
Not to mention that in a lot of countries and stuff, it is absolutely illegal to record someone without telling them prior to recording. You can't even just say, by the way, you're on the radio. And there's a whole bunch of radio stations around the world that make a fuckload of money from doing these prank calls where it's just all set up.
Yeah. Because, yeah, you're right. Like, if you were made to look silly or foolish, which is the goal of these prank calls, you could sue them for millions.
Yeah, and sometimes it supposedly destroys the person's life and whatever other crap, but if that was the case, that person could easily sue for insane amounts of money.
Yeah. And these Hamish and Andy blokes, like, we watched a good bit of stuff, compilation of their stuff when I got to Australia, and I'd never heard of them before. I don't know what your feelings on them are, but I did not find them funny at all.
I thought you were going to start the Hamish and McGregor Irish show.
No.
And redo it in Ireland. Pretend that you're...
No, if I was to start a show similar to theirs, what I would do is I'd change it so that it was actually funny. That would be my thing there.
That would be amazing. Imagine how well that would do.
Because I genuinely think that they had a few good setups, but they just went the wrong place. They didn't hit the nail on the head. They missed the nail completely. And they made themselves laugh, but that's not what you want to do.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they haven't proposed to sell someone to eat a pie with cum off a homeless person's
What are they
foot.
doing? Oh my God.
Think of all the money
They
leave
haven't
on the
eaten
table.
fried duck in the Philippines.
I think you mean lost a food eating competition.
Well, yeah, we know I lost. That's fine. That's not the point.
So you lost at that. So you lost at that.
Yes.
You lost at mortgages. Yeah, I mean, sorry, not at mortgages, at buying houses. How many auctions have you lost again?
2 so far.
2 so far. What else have you lost at? You've lost at gambling.
But I'm winning at gambling at the moment.
Well, that's very temporary. It's been a whole lot
How's
of
that pool games going so far? 3-1's the number? You won tonight.
It's 4-1, but I was the last winner, so...
Yes, you were
I'm
the...
currently
Yeah, sorry,
the
it is
winner.
4-1.
Yeah, currently
Yeah.
you're a loser.
Well, you're winning 4-1 in total.
At the end of the
4
day,
and
the
up in
last
total.
game's all that matters.
Last game wins.
That's true. Last game, yeah. I don't disagree with that.
You're a loser.
Thank you.
Is this how we're going to wrap up the podcast every week?
No.
Is Marcus storming off?
We just need to remind everyone that Marcus loses at everything he does and is a devout loser.
I do win at some things.
Not much. I mean, incest porn, but that's about it. Someone's going around Sheffield stapling slices of bread to different objects.
Slices of bread.
Why would you waste
bread.
good bread?
What kind of bread?
Bread.
White or brown?
White.
All right. Just like... I mean, is it a protest?
I don't know. They're doing it for the fun of it.
Is it Banksy?
Probably.
It'd be funny
Could
if it
you
was.
imagine if that was?
Bread would be worth so much fucking money.
We should do that here and just like staple it around this area.
I'm trying to make it a global thing. It's happening in Sheffield, and now it's happening here.
It's protest. And what we do is we claim it as our own. So it happens there and then we start doing it. And
Can you
then
imagine if
we submit our own meaning to it
Yeah.
and say it like, this was in support of Marcus being able to live as an incest.
So you thought you were safe there, but then it just came back. It just came back.
I know I'm
An
never-
openly
I
incest.
know I'm never safe, let's be honest.
In bread. They're in bread. How does...
Well, let's see. I mean, just the idea behind let's put some bread up in places. I don't really understand what that's all about.
It doesn't make any
incest
sense.
is in bread.
I mean, clearly. Is it toasted even, or just
No,
raw
just regular bread.
People. You having thoughts there, Marcus?
It makes no sense to me why people would staple bread.
Good cover. Good cover.
I mean, have you ever been to Sheffield?
No, I haven't. No.
There's not an awful lot to do there.
There's a whole lot of bread you can buy.
Go to your Sainsbury's, get some bread.
Maybe they had just a good discount on bread.
Yeah. But like, what kind of places have they been stapling bread to?
Trees and shit.
All right, fair play.
Just, yeah, it doesn't really make much sense.
Nah. But if you were going to protest with food stuff, what would you do?
Throwing some sort of vegetable, probably.
All right.
At what?
At a person or an object.
Well, that's very inventive. So you're going to throw a carrot at some random person
Yes, I
to
am.
protest that incest laws are illegal?
Not for that, but I would throw a carrot if I wanted to protest something.
That's very,
Interesting.
very unique.
I would throw chocolate pudding at them
Hey,
instead.
I like chocolate pudding.
I know.
Don't
no
waste
shit.
chocolate for pudding.
Sorry.
Chocolate pudding is delicious and the breakfast of champions.
Yeah, well, no shit, he was setting you up for that.
And it worked.
Yes, it did.
So, James, what's your food stuff?
I would throw a meat pie at a homeless person's foot so that you could jizz on it and eat it.
I don't feel like I would jizz on a meat pie.
But it's
Or
not
why
just...
it would be on the foot. Like, is it just balancing on the foot?
Yeah, it's the homeless person's trick. They
Balance meat pies on their foot that you throw at them?
and then
Meat
you
pies.
aim your jizz at them.
But why have I jizzed on the pie?
It's going to be hot
Because
and
you're gonna eat
sloppy
it
and
for
runny all
10K.
everywhere.
What kind of meat pie? What's in it?
Meat.
Meat. Roadrunner?
No. Well, this brings up our discussion the other night about renting a crane. Because we find it very weird.
That's a secret business discussion.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm if someone's going to copy our business, then good riddance.
Ooh.
But yeah, we find it very weird that people would advertise for cranes at a sporting event. More specifically, the soccer we were watching. And they had a 24/7 number for emergency cranes. So we tried to come up with reasons why you would need a crane in an emergency. And naturally, we came up with we needed to film bukkake porn, where a bunch of men ejaculate off the top of cranes and land onto a woman. And therefore, we need 67 cranes overnight shipped to our address. Sound about right?
I think that was the conversation.
Yep.
I can hear people outside, so they can therefore hear me, meaning that they just heard the lovely discussion we had about crane, masturbation, bukkakes.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure they are excited about the prospect of bukkake cranes.
Those
As I said,
bastards are probably off home.
They're gonna
now.
steal our idea.
Yeah, they're already on their way to the crane.
We may have had a beer or two when this conversation was being had.
You at least have that excuse. I don't.
I had some beers.
I've had some beers.
Yeah.
James hasn't.
But yeah, it's only a matter of time before bukkake crane porn takes off.
And if we don't act now,
But wait, there's more.
oh,
Buy now, and you can also get our second DVD, which is Marcus having incest sex with a Filipino ladyboy.
incest with a Filipino ladyboy?
Yeah, well, you gotta up the stakes. You can't just.
I don't know where this is going. to
You
be
can't
honest.
just have.
You can't just have regular incest sex.
Yeah, if you're
It's gonna be boring.
Yeah, you gotta up your game.
I got nothing. No.
Okay, just incest regular porn.
No.
Okay, well then just ladyboy.
No.
Ladyboy while a sibling watches and masturbates.
Just regular ladyboy.
While a sibling.
Circle jerks.
No.
Okay.
And
Do you reckon?
no.
Do you reckon anyone's ever gone into a ladyboy bar and asked for a bukkake?
No.
As if surely someone has.
I'm going to leave this discussion to you two because you're the experts.
Because you're getting too
with
turned
this.
on. He's gonna go outside and
No,
jack
my
off.
micro penis has actually got even smaller at this point.
You're gonna go off and jack off. This got too hot for Marcus. It's getting hot in here.
These guys have got nuts. You can cut that out of it anyway. What?
When are you going to press record?
Come on, Marcus. See, the second we talk about walking into a ladyboy bar and asking for a bukkake, he gets too hot and heavy and has to leave.
Yes, that's true.
It's going to be a long night, I think.
I mean, surely someone has though. What do you reckon the weirdest thing that
In a
ladyboy
bar?
Yeah.
Well,
I reckon the weirdest thing that's ever seen is like a man and a woman having regular sex.
I don't think I've seen that.
Well, there's nothing like a podcast where the co-host just decides to go jerk off.
He has to take care of business.
Well, I guess on that note, I guess we have to finish this up then.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having
It
me.
has been a lot of pleasure.
Let's lock Marcus out of the room for tonight.
Yeah, he's got no... Okay. Because it does look from this way and he didn't take the key, so...
Fantastico. Now I also can't leave the room for the rest of the night because I know what would happen.
No.
All right.
It's just funny off Marcus.
Thanks and good night.